Welcome to another month of MOSER20's, everyone. I know the situation in the world isn't at its best right now, but I mean, more views, right? Okay, I know I'm not funny, but at least I try. So, because of the quarantine and schools being shut down, this month was a handful of shows. 7 might not seem like a lot, but the last time it was 7 was when MOSER was merged from 3 months episodes. So, to have 7 in 1 month, and 4 of them releasing one after another, quite a generous amount. But I think we can all agree that I simply cannot review 7 shows alone, especially when I helped in some aspect in 3 of them. So for this month, I'll bring out someone who is quite fitting for this whole situation. Hey, get out of the fucking basement, it's your time to shine, idiot.
Yo, what the fuck?
So, since we're in quarantine, I brought someone who doesn't get sunlight at all anyway, so he can be relatable or some shit, I don't know. Introduce yourself.
Well, okay then, I'm ImDomYouFools. I voice the fan favorites of Nev's shows for some reason, and I have my own review show which is 10 times better than this one, First Impressions. Also, I haven't seen sunlight in almost 3 years, and the only thing I have in common with Rainbow here is that we both stan Billie Eilish, and if you don't go and check out her album, I swear to the Billy gods that I will strike you with—
Shut up, basement boy, we get it. We have quite a lot to cover for this episode, so let's just get into this MOSER. MOSER20's March. So, this episode was interesting. The writing really has me with this episode. The jokes were really good and were timed greatly. The challenge mixing with finding someone who is missing was done pretty smoothly for something that has been written over and over again, like someone going missing for the episode.
I have to agree, the writing for the episode was done very well. The only problem I really had was the whole bland character thing that was going on. I feel like that's just been done to death and just a tad boring.
Jory, episode 13. But speaking of present, her voice fell a little off to me. Something about the pitch just made it seem very unreal. But I can't really judge voice acting as I was a part of it. So what do you think, Dom?
I didn't really have an issue with any of the voicing for this. I'm not really one to judge voices anyway, since I literally have no emotion in anything I do voice acting wise.
Well, but I gotta say Animatic was definitely improved from last time. People were legit following the proportions, and it was really hard to notice if there was any style change at all in the episode. So big kudos to the animaticians in this episode.
Except for whoever made this monstrosity. Fuck this.
Design and aesthetic were really dope too. Every scene had what it needed for it to give the correct emotion. And for design, I really didn't have a problem with it. Although they give a ton of attention to the detail, which I love.
Not gonna lie, design was really good. Especially that vent spot thing, it looked really great. We stan custom bodies.
And so we should get to our scores. So I'll give 4.5 for writing, 4 for voice acting, 5 for animatic, and 5 for both aesthetic and design. And plus 5 for creativity, which gives my score a total of 28 out of 25 points.
I'm gonna give a 4 for writing, 4.5 for voice acting, 4.5 for animatic, and screw it, 5 for aesthetic and design, which gives it a total of 23 out of 25 points.
And so onto the second review. Is this show really named like a situation in Super Smash Bros?
Okay, first episode, my specialty. The writing of this episode was just, how do I say it, not up my alley personally. Some of the dialogue just felt unnecessary and unneeded to me. The grid paper and baby shampoo thing was just out of nowhere and really out of place.
Honestly, same. The writing was focusing on characters way more than others, and the challenge wasn't written in a good way, really rushing some of the parts of it. I can see the argument of SP and GPs blushing at each other as being foreshadowing, as it wasn't too much, but it felt off, especially as they literally just met. The ending felt generic in a sense. It's all a lot of objects teasing, like on the first episode.
OMG, there's a bigger entity pulling the strings, shocked face.
Also, the newspaper really just fucking say bro.
But really, everything else was great. Animatic was good, voice acting was good. It was really only the writing that I had any problems with.
I actually had a bit of a problem with the pace. It felt kinda slow and awkward. But for real, the design of this is amazing. There was a lot of attention to detail, and aesthetic wasn't all that good though. Some just felt off.
The only thing I really had to say design-wise, fuck text on bodies. That's illegal.
Okay, I guess that's kinda fair, but I think we should get to the point by now. So I will give 3 points for writing, 5 for voice acting, 4 for animatic, 4.5 for design, and 3 for aesthetic. A total of 19.5 out of 25 points.
As for me, I'm giving it 2 on the writing, 4 for the voice acting, 4.5 for animatic, 4 for design, and 3 for aesthetic, so that's a total of 17.5.
And now on to the next review. Alright, so this episode has been the official transformation of the show into full Flash animation. As before it was Flash Animatic with animation and no lip sync, this had full lip sync and full animation. It was really good. The writing of this episode was pretty okay. Jumping straight into the challenge without anything else was pretty weird, but considering how it was written, it made a lot more sense. The concept of writing most of the episode around the challenge is pretty smart, and it takes some skill to not make it boring. So kudos to the writers. The only thing that really bothered me was the fact that he said that there will be buoys to mark that they're still on the right path, but no one ever mentions them in the challenge. Kind of felt a consistency issue.
I'm very meh on the episode personally. Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst, and jumping into the challenge was alright, I guess. We got no interactions at all, though. We were just immediately thrown into a challenge, and Puckett is annoying as fuck. I knew as soon as it was a vote tie that he was not going home.
I can agree, his character only complains. They should definitely add him some more traits.
And the voice acting wasn't that bad either. Not the best, but not bad. Not really much to say there, actually.
As for designs, it was really good. The new backgrounds look really fresh and relaxing. Hope more of that comes too. So we should get to our scores. I'll give 4.5 for writing, 5 for voice acting, 5 for animation, 5 for design and aesthetic, making it a 24.5 out of 25 points.
I'll just give everything a 3 except for animation. I'll give it a 4 for a total of 16 out of 5. On to the next review. Ha, beat you to it.
Oh fuck. So, I have quite a few things to say about this. Let me start with the positives. The design of the show is outstanding. Everything looks so accurate and detailed. Even the smallest of props amaze me. The animatic style of the show makes it feel a lighthearted and fun, at least most of the time. But there is a major issue with this episode, and that is the writing. The characters were extremely generic. They were literally stereotyped. Feather Duster, Egg Timer, Pole Stick, Fuzzy Dice, and literally everyone else other than Base and maybe Bowie. The show also takes it a lot more to the aspect of Total Drama Island, a summer camp where the campers aren't comfortable with, the elimination order, which honestly, the way that they get eliminated is pretty original, I'll give you that, and the disgusting food, which if I can go on a tangent here, the show went so much on the reality aspect Total Drama Island had. The objects eat, apparently can get sick, and can get bitten by mosquitoes. Look, object shows can have their own universal rules, no matter how crazy they are, but they need to make sense and you need to explain them beforehand so the viewers will understand. I can't understand how one object like Oscillator says they can't eat because they're a mechanic, but another object like Thermometer eats it when they're a mechanic as well. It's just making me... Also the recap in the middle, what the fuck?
Whoa, calm down for a sec, would you? Like, this is the closest to an object total drama that I've seen, but there's just so much wrong with it. And the names that they were calling Cookie Butter the fat stereotype were a bit offensive. Even if it is a cartoon, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And animation-wise, some of it was just plain out lazy to me, like when there would literally be just the character assets and nothing else.
Yeah, that was what I meant when I said at least most of the time, when I referred to the animatic. There were way too many times that they would just show the assets with no expressions or limbs, and it just felt so lazy. I really dislike it when shows do that, because I see it reoccurring. However, I have another thing to say, and it's about voice acting. The host's volume was legit hurting my ears. Sometimes the sounds of his voice will be a lot more amplified than what he actually is saying, and it will be just really uncomfortable. And also, as much as I like Wolgo's voice acting, his accent was just... It was not it. It was... No. It felt really off. It felt like Matchbox wasn't actually having that accent. However, Oscillator's voice was amazing. I love the expression in his voice, and his delivery is really good.
You are so hecking angry at this show, holy shit. And I'm not appreciating your slander of Woggle's sexy accent. I mean, it's a good accent.
It's not that I hate it, really. I just know it could be so much better. And I know Zoe can improve. This is literally what this project is for, to give my opinion so people can improve. But anyway, we should get to the scores by now. I'll give writing 2 points, voice acting gets 3.5, animatic gets 4, design gets 5, and aesthetic gets 3, a total of 17.5 out of 25.
I'd give writing a 3, voice acting a 3, animatic a 3, design a 4.5, and aesthetic will get a 3.5 for a total of 17 out of 25 points.
I really want to see this improve, and see more episodes of this, but now, we'll move on to the next review.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I freaking love this show so freaking much. It's well written, everything is executed greatly, and it's just really enjoyable, and this episode did not break that trend. The creativity of the show just amazed me, and the challenges were in perfectly. I'm so nice, aren't I?
No.
Shut it, meanie, this is my review. Overall, the episode was great. I can't wait to see what developments happen with Thermometer knowing the secret, since we all know Picture Frame is getting out. That is obvious to everyone, right? Right? Whatever. The interactions of the episode were done well as the voice acting. Except Rulers, I fucking hate his whiny ass voice. It sucks. Anything you wanna add, you biased fuck?
I guess I don't really like Smarty's character development. Her friendship with Lampshade is just really one-sided and it bothers me. Also, I voiced the best character because yes.
Not true, but I guess I'll get to the score. I'm gonna give writing a fat ass 4.5, voice acting a 4.5, animation a 4, design a 4.5, and aesthetic a 4 for a total of 21.5 out of 25 points.
I'd give writing 5, voice acting 4.5, animation 5, design 5, and aesthetic 5. A total of 24.5 out of 25 points. And now, on to the next review. Alright, so this episode was written really well. The show always has its quirky jokes and writing style, and it's really good to watch if you want some more lighthearted, silly object shows rather than serious and long arcs. Even though I personally didn't like some of the jokes in the episode. Although by the end scene when Latte was with that book, I can see how it can take a more serious tone with something, and I want to see what this show has to offer.
The quirkiness of the show is why I love it so much. With that book, I can tell it'll probably involve a chocolate bar secret. Something that has been mentioned for the entire series. I just want to know what it hecking is. The animation was just so smooth and we finally got to see Glove World for the first time. Micro died, came back, and then dies again. Awesome! I'm probably the biggest fan of the show and it's sad that it's most likely we're not gonna get a third season.
Honestly though, the fact that Waves voiced them all is actually amazing. He is actually so talented when it comes to voice acting. Not just pitch-wise, but emotion and to give his all when he does his lines. It really amazes me.
True, his vocal range is so wide it's crazy. It doesn't even sound like he voices every character.
Yeah, and the design was still outstanding. I love just looking at it, especially in Glove World.
I was the tiniest disappointed by Glove World, but it was still cool.
So, scores. I'll give writing 4, voice acting 5, animation 5, and design and aesthetic 5. So 24 out of 25 points.
I'm gonna give writing a 4.5, voice acting a 5, animation a 4.5, design and aesthetic a 4 for a total of 22 out of 25.
And now, on to the last review. Well, this will surely be controversial.
This was certainly interesting, to say the least.
Okay, I'll be honest. People are really overreacting over the split. BFB was already as long as all hell with 64 contestants. Splitting it into 2 shows will be refreshing and a lot less self-burdening that will go into creating each show, as they won't need to focus so hard on character development for 64 contestants.
The intention behind the split was good, just execution of it was off. But now that we're getting a lighthearted, goofy show and a more serious, story-based show at the same time, is pretty neat in my opinion. There's not really much to say about the episode since it really was just a setup for another series. Oh, and the debut is unfair as fuck. We all know Winner is debuting, it's so fucking obvious.
What made me feel off about this episode is rather that this is all that there was to it. Other than Loser getting out, all that happened was the split. I would have loved to see if something else sparked with it. Probably just me. Since really it's BFB, I don't really have any complaints. They nail everything every time. Other than this time with the execution of the split, but you know. Yeah, I just wanted more, especially since it's BFB. It just felt like it was lacking in almost everything. There wasn't really anything special about it overall, but I am super excited to see how this new show plays out. Alright then, we should get to our scores. I'll give writing 2.5 and 5 for everything else, a total score of 22.5 out of 25. Well, I'm gonna give a writing a 3, voice acting a 4.5, animation a 5, design and aesthetic a 5 as well, for a total score of 22.5. Ew, I got the same score as you? Yuck. Well, now that I'm free, I'm thinking a vacation. Maybe Hawaii. Shut up before I make you a Hawaii in the basement. Well, shit, okay. And so, this is where the last review stands. Sorry if I missed any shows. This month was really hectic with object shows and personal life that messed with me completely. Still hope I did most. Thanks for letting me blackmail you, or bribe you onto letting me on the show, I guess. Hashtag Yelly rules. Goodbye now. Ew, okay, now go back to the damn basement and record the rest of your line. Subscribe to Dom, by the way, he has a whole show coming out soon. And so, this is all for this month. If I missed any, make sure to let me know, so I'll be on the lookout for it for next month. Or whenever it comes out. And I'll catch you all next time.